this it?
We live,
What's up? What's
man.
up? We live. Are we live? There we go. I had
What's
the wrong
happening?
banner up. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Cookout here on Certified Gumbo, episode 30.
Big
Joining
trio.
today, we got Donovan.
Hello.
So how's everybody doing? Donovan, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just came home from work.
So you got the new background there. Well, what's that? Where we at?
At Death Star. Star
Nice.
Destroyer. Sorry.
Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Star
I
Destroyer
tried to,
Bridge.
I tried to get a Cure background, but I guess it wasn't PDI was too low.
All right. Yeah, I know you were looking at doing the Enterprise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably switch it up every now and then.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Saturday. I don't have any food to eat right now. It's been a busy day, but I do have a drink. Fiji.
Is that the sponsor?
Yeah,
Fiji water.
Get your alkaline levels up. Who is that? Jennifer Lawrence joins Fantastic Four. What?
Oh, wait a second.
Is, Sue?
Yeah, so we got it. This is a rumor. I'm going to change up the show topics a little bit. This kind of broke today. There is a rumor that Jennifer Lawrence is going to, or is in talks to play Sue Storm in the Disney Marvel Fantastic Four reboot. This coming from, who is the source on this? Now, Charles Murphy did put out a report on this, but I don't think he is the source. This is from the Daily Telegraph.
Telegraph. Who is that?
That's in London, I believe.
London. Boy.
So,
Hello, Governor.
I guess, what do we think about this rumor? First of all, like, are we happy about the possibility of Jennifer Lawrence playing Sue Storm, or what? What's everyone's feeling on it?
I feel like she'll do all right. Yeah, she did good in
I don't know.
what's the movie where she was a
like,
spy?
But she wasn't
Played
Mystique, though.
I didn't like her as Mystique. I can say that.
No, I'm just saying it's kind of weird. But I guess Captain America was both Torch and. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, that just confirms that they're recasting a lot of the X-Men characters.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that they kept, what's my man? Petrov from the Fox universe. They kept the same actor for that. So I think that's an interesting thing, given that they're, considering recasting Jennifer Lawrence in the role of Sue Storm. There's two implications for that. Like, one, it's the recasting of the X-Men universe for the Marvel franchise. And two, clearly this would, to me, tell that they want her as a talent, but they probably don't want her continuing the role as Mystique.
Yeah, I would agree. Now, it begs the question, are they going to keep Mystique as a character?
Yeah, they have to, but they're just going to have to recast her. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Like, recast the role of Mystique. I think they're going to recast the X-Men, like, as a whole, like, just fresh start minus Petrov. They could keep the younger Professor X and Magneto. They could keep.
If they do keep them, I would hope. Yeah, they were good. They were good casts.
Yeah,
especially Magneto.
Oh, Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender. And I'm blanking on his name.
The guy from Split.
Yeah, he's a great actor though. What's his name? But anyway, I think they could keep them in the X-Men universe for sure. Like, I think there's some controversial castings. I don't think certain, like Jean Grey, for instance, I don't think any of the other ones are kind of like, I don't care either way if they recast those characters. Like, they keep them or they could recast them. I think they're great actors and actresses, but I think within the MCU and with Kevin Feige leading the story and the development of the X-Men, I think they'll do great in those roles, but I wouldn't be opposed to them getting recasted either.
Yeah, I feel like doing a fresh cast, all of it.
Yeah,
I want to see a new look.
Yeah. So I think another thing we can take was clearly the ball is rolling on the X-Men and Fantastic Four pretty quickly here. We're going to get something. I think that's some good news pretty quickly, pretty early on in Phase 5.
Oh, yeah, so I was just about to ask you think they'll come out at the end of Phase 4 or at the beginning of Phase 5?
Nah, this is Phase 5. I would say, if COVID didn't happen and everything stayed on production schedule, we could possibly see them pop into some Phase 4 material. But with COVID, I just don't see that being a real, feasible thing. I think Phase 5 is where they're going to end up landing.
All right. I'm here for it. Jennifer Lawrence. Okay. What we got here? What's next on the docket?
Next on the docket, my man, Donald Glover is set. He has penned a deal with Amazon Prime. It's a multiple year, 8-figure overall deal with Amazon, which includes a content channel of sorts that will spotlight Glover's work and other curated content. So they're going to give him his own space to create his own original content. I think that's great news.
Yeah.
What a talented dude this man is, first and foremost. Well deserved too.
That's pretty big right there.
Will that affect the Atlanta series anyway?
That might be a sign that we'll get a part season 3 to Atlanta.
Well, season 3 and 4 they've been already greenlit by FX. So he's working with Disney and with Amazon now. Yeah, and it does say here in this article, which is from the Hollywood Reporter, that he has extended his contract with the Disney and FX. So yeah, man, he's that's a hardworking brother, right there. Good news, man. I like him. I really like Donald Glover, man. He's just a talented dude, man. Super talented, super smart, hardworking.
Wow, that's wild. Just to think that I used to listen to Donald Glover back in what was that? 08, 09 when the campfire.
Yeah, camp was 08.
Yeah. Camp was 08.
That was 08, 09. Yeah.
Man, it came a long way.
Any word about the Deadpool animated series? Or is that?
I don't know. I haven't heard any news on that in a long time. But yeah, man, he started out writing.
He used to do stand up.
Yeah, he was working with Saturday Night Live too. I think that's where he got his big break. And then he went, for Saturday Night Live. And then he got his deal with Comedy Central to do that stand up. And then he put out Camp and entered into the rap scene with that, which was a phenomenal mixtape.
That's wild.
And then
I would have never known he came from comedy first. I thought he started rapping and then he got into comedy.
Nah, he was a comedian first.
Yeah.
It was wild, man. He's had his career, man. He's been all over the place.
I think Freak isn't Freak still on Netflix?
Say what?
I think it's stand up is still on Netflix.
It's highly like.
Yeah. I forgot what it's called. It is definitely.
His stand up was alright. It was okay.
Yeah. What?
Medium.
You can tell though he's like, from his shows at Atlanta and everything that he starred in, he's a comedic writer. He's definitely in that stand up as a whole nother category. He held his own though, I think, in that Comedy Central special. But I think his comfort zone is definitely writing comedy within that space.
He's writing R&B too.
Writing music, raps, all the. His pen is sick. That's all we gotta say on that matter. No question about it. His pen is sick.
So yeah, he's gonna be putting out some good content.
Definitely agree with that. Yeah, man, but that's a big deal, dude. What
is the 8-figure deal?
8-figure deal for multiple years.
Cool.
So that's good, man.
He's still with Adidas too, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. Possibly.
So this is his own. Go back to that headline. This is his.
Yeah, he had he can create.
Oh yeah, and Malia Obama is on his writing team.
That's what's up. Amazon Prime has already got good content too, so this is more incentive.
They do. Yeah, they definitely need something besides The Boys.
Interface. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the interface is trash.
Yeah, they need to redesign that. It's hard to find stuff.
I started The Expanse the other day.
Bruh. Season 4 is disappointing. It's like it's not bad. It just wasn't. It didn't hit like it.
Okay, so my mind went immediately to Game of Thrones level.
No, it's not that bad. It's not God. It's not that bad. It's just kind of like
I don't think nothing is that bad.
Yeah, it's just underwhelming. It's kind of a lull. It's something they can bounce back from. They didn't make season breaking, series breaking mistakes. It's just like it's lukewarm to me. It's just like, did I really need that? I don't think so. We'll see how season 5 and 6 go. If they get, I don't even know if it's been greenlit for season 5 and 6, but if they are, then they can redeem itself. It just got to come with some heat, man. They set up some good things in the first 3 seasons that I don't feel like they capitalized on in season 4, and that's my critique of it.
All right, we'll see. I haven't finished episode 1 yet, so
no, like the first 3 seasons, fuego.
Yeah,
they're fire. Love those. Like I was hooked. I was excited when Amazon picked it up for season 4 because I was like, yes, continue this heat, and it was just. It's like I could deal without that, but cool. That's acceptable though. It's an acceptable drop to me. But yeah.
Yeah. So we rolling through these
topics. Constantine, DC property. It's in development over at HBO Max.
Yeah, I saw that.
Same guy?
Is it the guy from the NBC show?
No, I don't know, but J.J. Abrams is the executive producer for the series.
Justice League Dark. So this is supposed to tie into the Justice League Dark series.
Okay, that's what I've always wanted to see.
All right, so what's that? What's Justice League Dark?
Yeah, fill us in.
They're mostly like the occult, like magic.
Like people, just like
villains
or heroes or what?
No, they're like heroes, but like anti-heroes.
Like a band of anti-heroes?
Somewhat, yeah.
So they're like sorcerers, or?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
So it's like a it's like a
Doctor Strange level.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And they
like the main characters they helped the Justice League because the Justice League like failed, and then like Batman goes to Zatanna. Remember
Batman it goes.
It goes to Zatanna, and then he's like, "We need your help."
Call him like
Zatanna and Constantine. Okay. Who else is in there? Constantine, the Swamp Thing, and
Swamp Thing is in the Justice League Dark.
Yeah,
interesting.
And Deadman, he can possess like superheroes.
Oh wow,
that's interesting.
Yeah, he actually went to the same circus as the Graysons.
Oh, word! At the same, like Robin's parents.
Yeah, he pretty much did what they did. And
he died too.
Yeah, but not by the accident. He didn't die doing like what he did, but yeah, he was assassinated pretty much. And his story arc.
How did he get his power?
When he died, he was like given a second chance, so he like pretty much possesses people.
Who gave him a second chance?
I forget, one of the gods in the DC world. I forget her name. but he's supposed to like put people on the right path for like pretty much correct their like karma, so to speak. Yeah.
The dead man is interesting. And he only possesses superheroes.
Well, he can possess anyone, but like during the Dark Justice, like I think he's in one of the animated movies. He possessed Superman at one point to talk to them, and then, but when he does it, like the person, like they have like no memory of the possession, so he can kind of like
not aware that they were possessed.
Yeah, so he can pretty like say if he possessed Superman, he can like make him do things and he won't even remember.
So it's like he would.
So he completely overrides their consciousness when he possesses them. So they're like completely suppressed during this process. That's interesting. That's wild, yo.
Like, I want to see what they look like.
Yeah. So like this Justice League Dark stuff. Tell us more about that, because you're the DC, more the DC expert.
Pretty much, they're like just like the occult. Remember,
who's this little monkey man?
I don't know the monkey man. I just know pretty much.
Do you know the monkey man?
But remember, at the end of Suicide Squad?
I don't remember anything from that movie.
Really? You don't? Oh, was that bad?
Yeah.
The Enchantress, the bad guy in that one.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Justice League, pretty much, like in one of the stories, they fail, and then that's when Batman goes to Zatanna to ask for their help, because they really don't know any about like the magic, sorcery type stuff. So.
Yeah, that's the Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
So we checking out.
Yes, there's Deadman right there.
Which one?
Over. Not that one, but where Constantine's in the middle. Right there. Yeah.
Oh, I see this guy look like Mr. Sinister.
No.
He looks like dead Mr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan.
Who is this guy? The Gargoyle?
I don't know. There's like the only three really I do know is Constantine and Deadman and Swamp Thing. Yeah, I haven't watched the I think that might be the animated. Yeah, 07-17.
Is that a movie?
Yeah,
so
it's
an animated movie of this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think in that one Deadman possesses Batman. Real quick. I haven't seen it in a long time. So if they bring back Swamp Thing, because I know that had like one season, and it got canceled.
Yeah. All right. There's a bounty hunter.
Logo?
Yes. Is he connected to this?
No. I don't think he's not connected to the Dark Avengers.
Because I remember there was rumor that they were working on either a movie or a series featuring Lobo.
Lobo? I would love to see that.
Yeah, I heard that like a couple years ago, like in the DC reboot, kind of around time when they were looking for a new executive producer, which, Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams. It's like before they signed J.J. Abrams to that deal, and he looked like, so now he's looking to take on the DC franchise, and hopefully.
Oh, J.J.'s taking on that full time, pretty much.
Yeah, he's going to be the man for DC.
I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe it could turn out okay.
He's king of reboots.
Yeah, he would need a good script.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's producing. Like, he's not necessarily. Okay. I think he'll be fine as a producer. Like, he's not directing and writing. But I think he'll be good in that executive producer role.
Yeah, I think DC should probably stick to the HBO Max thing, since they can't get the universe down pat quite yet.
What you mean?
Do you guys like any of the DCU movies?
The first Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's like
that
the
was a
only
good
one.
Man,
I think that's the only one for me.
I guess the Batmans don't count, right?
Not the Nolan films.
No, not the Nolan. That's like it's in its own universe.
I mean, we'll see how the new Batman is. Like that looks promising from the trailer. That looked better than anything that I've seen. As of late.
I like the tone of that movie, at least from what they shown in the trailer. It looked like they had the vibe right.
Yeah.
The Dark Justice League, man.
Yeah, I don't know. They just need someone who's going to that really understands the property and will take the reins, and just, even if they want to go into this multiverse direction and have all of these different versions of different characters, or of the same character in multiple universes, they need to find their Kevin Feige that can handle producing all of that content.
Yeah, multiple projects.
Yeah, because like you got to have a direction. Like they had a 10-year plan over at Marvel before they even, went into production with Iron Man to kick it all off. Like
that's their key to success right there. Like
yeah,
that
they had their
level
plan
of planning
out.
ahead and like being able to flesh that all out and make minor changes along the way. Because I'm pretty sure they did.
The deleted scenes at the end credits of Iron Man, they even said like the X-Men and Spider-Man. Nick Fury did.
What?
I think
at the end of Iron Man?
It's a subtle reference.
Like a subtle.
What did he say?
He was like, people, I think Nick Fury was like people getting bit by radioactive spiders.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then now we have a man in an iron suit.
Yeah. He makes he alludes
okay. I thought that was like just,
No, it's not. It's not real. Because
what you mean?
No, like they didn't even finish filming it because the whole scene he's surrounded by a blue screen.
Yeah, like he doesn't say X-Men.
So it never made the cut.
No, it's not the final end credit scene. But like he made a reference to the X-Men, but without saying the X-Men or mutants, and then he also made a reference to Spider-Man without saying Spider-Man. Like he did say something about people being bitten by radioactive spiders and people running around with superpowers, or like an evolved race of humans, like which is kind of sort of an alluding to the X-Men.
So that was back in Iron Man. Then that was what 08?
08.
Yeah.
So maybe they were banking on making a deal with Fox back then or something. Didn't.
Bob Iger,
it was always a possibility because one of the things Kevin Feige had been producing, he was a producer over at Fox before he came over to Disney, and he produced the X-Men movies, and he worked on the Spider-Man projects too. I think I might be wrong with Spider-Man, but he definitely worked on X-Men. So he had all this in mind before he came over to Disney and worked with Marvel full time to help them launch their the Marvel Universe, the MCU as we know it today. And so before they got started, because I think this is like in the early 2000s, I want to say that this was before X-Men 3, because I don't think he was a producer on that film. But it's around that time when they started, the legwork on the MCU, and then of course we get Iron Man, and then the rest is history. 22 films later, or however many 20 plus films later, we have like this one of the best produced sagas in cinematic history.
I would say that is the best produced saga. Yeah. Like what comes close to that? Just the amount of planning involved with that.
Produced saga?
The amount of continuity.
Lord of the Rings. I can only think of the Lord of the Rings.
I'd say Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
Harry Potter. But that was an adaptation from an existing story. So
yeah,
I don't even know if
but
I would count that.
Still to be able to, that's what, 8 films? Like that's a lot, regardless, even if it is an adaptation.
Yeah.
That's still a feat. And then to do it in a way that pays respects in homage to the books and stays true to the original source material as possible. It's something that a lot of people don't do. Like a lot of franchises fall short because they don't stay true to the source material.
Facts.
We've seen that with other properties, especially within the video game world, which we'll get into.
At the Resident Evil comes to mind.
Yeah, Resident Evil is probably the biggest
perfect
fall drop
story to turn into a great saga. You just ruined it. But anyway,
I think that was just by design.
Like you had all the elements there. You had the mystery, the thriller. You had zombies. I mean,
Well, I think those movies were like making money though on the low budget. I think that's why they kept turning them out the way they were.
Yeah, that's exactly why they were doing it. It was just, cash cow entertainment. But they had potential to like make a real good story from it.
Yeah, well, they know it's interest in the saga and the franchise because it's such a popular video game series. The same thing with Mortal Kombat.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, man, that trailer, they finally got MK right.
Yeah, but
I think my fingers are still crossed though.
Before we talk about that, like the Cruella trailer, did anybody else see that besides me?
I saw it. I mean, it looked all right.
It's giving me like Joker vibes.
Saw this. Yeah. I just seen the still when she has like the sledgehammer.
Yeah, no, like it feels. I watched the trailer, and it is giving me strong Joker vibes. Like that, I think they saw that movie and they were like, I think we could do something with Cruella, like give her a backstory.
But like this Cruella, does she need a backstory?
character?
So this is like an origin story, pretty much.
Yeah, for Cruella. Yeah, I mean the trailer. Before I watched it, I wasn't interested, but it did pique my interest after I watched it. And I was like, this is. I would definitely go see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I saw that one, the still, but that's all I saw. I mean, I just don't remember Cruella having a hammer though. I guess that's where the Harley Quinn stuff comes.
I forget the hammer in the trailer.
No, like the steel. Like I just saw like a photo steel.
Well, she definitely had. I don't remember seeing a hammer in the trailer, but she's definitely got an edge. Like she explains her disposition in life, and I think the movie is aiming to give some sort of level of understanding to her and her motivations that we hadn't gotten in the 100 Dalmatians. Which, I mean, it's an interesting direction. There are some other Disney villains that they could have done origin stories for, but I mean, the trailer, I'm not saying I'm completely sold on it, but it did pique my curiosity more so than I thought it would.
Yeah. I mean, I'll check it out. If it's streaming, I'll watch it. I wouldn't go to the theater, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'll pay $30 to watch a Cruella.
To get it straight, I'm not paying $30 for any movie that's streaming. Nope.
Have they changed that yet? Is it still like 30?
What, Disney? I doubt it.
For like when
they only did it with Milan.
Oh, that was the only one that was 30?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I tried to watch the new Craft. That was like 30, and I'm like, no.
The new Craft.
Yeah, it's like
it was 30 to watch. So I guess it's not just Milan then.
Yeah, anything.
I think it might have been 20.
Scheduled for a theatrical release that's going to Disney Plus that's I think the $30 price tag is their standard.
No, I think this one's on Amazon.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know Amazon. Well, yeah,
I hardly do the $3.99 to rent a movie.
You get it for 24 hours.
No, I'm not. So definitely not doing that.
Yeah, I've rented a movie off Amazon Prime.
I came close to renting The Outsiders the other day. It was available for rent for like $4. I was in the outsider mood. It's been a minute. They had like an all-star cast in that movie. And Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe. Who else?
Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Matt Dillon.
Yeah, Matt Dillon.
And Emilio Estevez. I think he's in it. Yeah, Billy the Kid.
Yeah, that's an all-star cast right there.
All right, well, main topic, Mortal Kombat. Finally get our first trailer, first look. Well, not our first look, but our first official trailer for Mortal Kombat movie, which is scheduled for April release, April 19th, I believe.
I want to say, yeah, April. The trailer, hey man, trailer look good.
Yeah, even if it's bad, I just to see the Scorpion and Sub.
Yeah, Scorpion and Sub-Zero both look good. The casting for Scorpio was spot on. That's a dude from The Last Samurai. That's where I remember him from. The Last Samurai.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He would have been like a good Vegeta too if they ever did that, but that's not.
He would be a good Vegeta. Yeah, it looks like they showing Scorpion back before he was actually Scorpion. So that was cool to see the spear on the rope, to see how that turned into the spear we all know. Get over here.
Yeah, I think it's also had the benefit of the series actually having time to develop through the video games, and like the story in the video game becoming more dynamic, and like, you know, they've got more material to deal with. Like, I don't think the first Mortal Kombat movie was terrible.
That one was I like the first Mortal Kombat movie. Like, the music is iconic.
Just the music still holds up, but some of the fight scenes kind of. But
yeah, you know, nostalgia value is there. Like it.
For the series, it's definitely
everyone after that was.
yeah.
Like,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle in the trailer. It seems like they're using Sonya Blade and Jax as our entry point into discovering the world of Mortal Kombat, like on some detective level.
Yeah,
but I didn't like how they show too much though with the Jax.
They always show too much. Just like
they gotta sell people on the trailer. That's not even. They're trying to appeal to normal people, the normals like that don't watch or haven't played Mortal Kombat. Movie trailers aren't supposed. They're not, especially with like an adaptation or, you know, a property that exists. When they make a trailer, they make it to appeal to people who've never seen it before, who have no idea what this is. So like, it's not for people who know anything about the content because they know they're going to go see it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, in that regard, I think they gave exactly. I think they gave it wrong. They didn't show too much of the plot. They gave us enough action to sell people on at least that part of it, and enough of the storyline to appeal to the average moviegoer.
Yeah, I do think they showed too many Sub-Zero scenes. Like,
that's Sub and Scorpion.
Well, that's
they could have teased us with Sub. Yeah, so showing Jax getting his arms frozen like that, they could have teased it right there and left it alone, and then cut the next time we see Sub-Zero's when he says his name. Mm-hmm. That would have been, ideally enough for me. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, and I think that the one guy. What did you say?
He did a move where he froze somebody's arm and broke it off and hit him with it, or something like that.
No, that was Scorpion's blood, and then he.
That was Scorpion. He was messing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. He cut him, and the blood splattered, and he froze the blood, turned it to a knife, and then stabbed him with it, and then threw him.
That's a move in the game, though, too. So that's what's up. They're paying attention now.
Oh, I think we're going to see fatalities in this too.
Yeah, they have the benefit of better CGI too.
So they did show Kano's fatality in the trailer. He took old buddy's heart out.
He had dude's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one character I was like, you could have done better with the design.
Hey, get Russell Crowe. It's good Kano, man.
No, not today, Julian.
Yeah,
he's too old.
He's get in shape. How old is Russell Crowe?
He's like
60s.
late 60s. He's like
60s?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, I'm tripping.
Gladiator came out like in 2000s, and he was like pretty much almost 40, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't even break into it. I think he was well, not
I need new headphones, man.
mainstream.
He's just breaking. Break it down.
But I think that one guy in the trailer, he's supposed to, I guess the audience, like we're supposed to attach to him. I think that's going to be Johnny Cage.
In the no, because people were complaining that they didn't see Johnny Cage.
No, I think that one guy is going to turn out to be Johnny Cage. I think maybe.
Was there some? I don't.
Because he's an MMA fighter and he's like in the cage.
Yeah, they showed Johnny Cage.
No, like I don't think they actually. His name's not Johnny, but I think he's gonna be.
Yeah, but that's got to be Johnny Cage though. When I saw
I don't think that's his name though.
Did they call him by? Did he go by a different name?
They didn't say his name at all. Like there was no actual reveal for Johnny Cage.
But yeah, he's in the cage. Like he's an MMA fighter, so he's fighting in a cage. So he has to be Johnny Cage.
Yeah. I took it as him being Johnny Cage. We shall see.
To me, that tells me that he probably doesn't have that much screen time in this movie because he's a very popular Mortal Kombat character. If he was on screen, like they definitely would showed him and teased him and had a more obvious reveal. Like everyone that they showed, we clearly identified as who they were, and we could identify who they were playing. I didn't clearly see anyone that looked or resembled Johnny Cage in the trailer. But to your point, that outside of the MMA fighter, that does make sense, but that's not like an obvious reveal, you know?
Yeah. They showed Kung Lao. I was like, yo, that's what's up.
Yeah. And you didn't really see, you saw Raiden, but I don't.
It was a quick glimpse, but you could still, you knew it was him. Like it was the iconic, like the hat and the lightning and like.
What's interesting though is Raiden is supposed to be the one that comes and introduces people to Mortal Kombat. So I'm interested to see this angle with Jax and Sonya.
Well, I think Jax and Sonya are like investigating, and they stumbled upon Sub-Zero,
and it's like a mystery of like what this is, and
that's how I think that's how it's going to play out.
Then Raiden drops down.
Now Sub-Zero appears to freeze Jack's arms off.
Yeah.
In the trailer, right?
Shatters.
So I saw that right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was right. That was Sub-Zero, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's a good setup.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good setup.
Sub-Zero is a good villain for this first film. Y'all think he'll survive or he'll die at the end?
If they kill him, that's stupid.
No,
they can't kill him in the first movie because there's no way they had the intention.
He has to redeem himself. I don't know. I mean, technically, right?
Well, yeah. In Mortal Kombat, what was that? A Deadly Alliance. I think he redeemed himself. Yeah. He let go of the mask, left the mask behind, and tried to start anew.
I'm still like, why didn't they do a TV series?
I mean, they could. They definitely could. It's got some longevity in it. You got the whole, Mortal Kombat is a fighting tournament, so there's so much you could wrap around that. You got the underworld, the outer realm, I think they call it.
Yes, the outer realm.
Yeah, the outer realm.
Yeah, I think for this, the movie is a better format, though. Like, just instead of like a series, because it's such everything's centered around the fight in
tournament.
The fighting in the tournaments. Like, it's kind of like, can you really build a series around that? Like, without it like having these like Dragon Ball Z filler episodes, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be like, that's hard to do 10 episodes a season with, you know what I'm saying, at an hour.
You could do it how the British shows are. You do like 4 episodes in a season and have it like an hour and 20 minutes an episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
possibly, but I think they made the right decision with it being a film. And then because then you're just making an event and everybody goes to see the sequel. Like I think this is the right type of franchise to create a movie series out of.
I hope they have a long-term plan for this. Like I want to see at least 2 movies.
I think they can squeeze a trilogy. And then by the 3rd film, set up new characters and all that.
I'm trying to see the cyborgs, cyborg ninjas. I want to see them on screen.
Yeah, they can set up a lot of things, man. If they are really creative, they can set up the Injustice and partner with DC.
That'd be really cool.
There's so much they can do with the series. Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they've had the benefit of time in the video game actually fleshing out its story and building more of a narrative than the first film.
If that does happen, I think that would make Kevin Feige sweat.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
Kevin Feige is paid.
I know.
He's good. He's already.
Yeah, he's
been successful with this Marvel. Like all he has to do now is just not mess it up.
So he needs DC to be successful in order to keep the momentum. Because if they don't have any competition, they'll have a longer drop off. Like that hill is going to come quick. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't have anyone else in the arena with them, if it's just Marvel, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. If anything, he's hoping that DC can get their stuff together and actually have things that the fans can look forward. Because if they can duel and battle and go off each other and have the fan participation on both sides, that's just generating more revenue for both of them. Gotta have that competition. You gotta have a rivalry. You got no rivalry. It's no. You just front running at this point. So yeah, you're really setting yourself up more for failure because you're only competing against yourself at this point. Yeah. And that's like a team going to. That's like when the Miami Dolphins, for instance, were at their worst. Them competing against the 08 Patriots every year. That's going to be an automatic dub for the Patriots. And at some point, people are going to not tune in because they already know it's there's no way they're going to beat them. But if you got some solid competition on the other end, people are way more interested to see what DC's bringing to the table, see what Marvel's bringing to the table. Mm-hmm. And it just, that's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely see that. Give people a reason to come look and see what you're making. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But Marvel's so big now. Just their name alone is gonna draw a crowd. So,
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's they really just don't need to mess up. Just keep your formula. It's working. Don't mess up.
I would say
don't mess up.
I would say that the Thor sequels up until was it Thor 2 sequel?
Yeah, Dark World.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, even Spider-Man, Far From Home. That would kind of sort of be contrary to your point because if it was as big of a draw, then it'd be like Star Wars, 6, 7, 8 people went just because it was Star Wars. And I don't think Marvel has hit that level yet. Yes. They didn't need to promote that.
Well, that was a whole.
That was a 30.
Star Wars is a whole nother level.
But that's what they have to get to. Like I don't think Marvel's not at that level yet. Like where
I don't think they'll get. I mean, they could.
So?
Like
they can
Star
get there. It's
Wars,
gonna take some years.
Yeah, it'll have to take years.
They got longevity.
With episode 7, 8, and 9, you had so much time that had passed. Like people have always been looking forward to episodes 7, 8, 9 ever since The Last Jedi came out, or the Return of the Jedi came out. So that's what, 3 decades. 4 decades. Yeah. So you got 4 decades of build up and anticipation. Like that's, yeah.
But the fact that Star Wars was able to retain that level of engagement and excitement for 40 years is like, and for that first movie to drop and make over $1 billion, like that's a feat.
Yeah, it's a loyal fan base, right?
And nobody else can claim that they can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. That's insane. But I mean, Marvel has the best chance of getting to that point. But they just, like to your point, they still got to keep hitting. But they're not at that level yet. Like
Marvel has so many different movies
and characters.
It's
not an apples to apples comparison, but it is from a franchise standpoint, it is
it's got some trade-offs because not everyone's going to be interested equally in each character.
Right.
So
right. Well, really, you got to look at the Avengers movies as what you compare to Star Wars, because that's where everything kind of sort of melts, right?
Yeah. And they're up there, right? The top globally.
Yeah.
Like the 2 Avengers movies, Endgame and
Infinity War.
Ultron and
Infinity War
and the first Avengers, Endgame, Ultron, and Infinity War. So that's 4 Avengers movies, and then Civil War is like a Avengers 1.5. All those have grossed over $1 billion. So like it's up there for sure. Conversation and DC, those movies made close to $1 billion. I think Wonder Woman surpassed $1 billion. I think that's the only and Batman vs Superman, and I think Wonder Woman they all grossed $1 billion in the box office.
As time goes on, I'm like getting more and more interested in seeing this Snyder cut.
I'm not really excited for it.
I'm like, man, I gotta see this.
Like,
it seems like such a different movie.
It does look like a different movie based off the trailer, and if it's better than that Whedon cut, like
that Whedon cut is a low bar.
It is.
It's such a low bar. Hey, yeah.
He came in like late though, right?
He did. Yeah, he came in late, but they has a lot of script changes, rewrites, and reshoots. So it was.
Well, Zack Snyder, his daughter,
committed
suicide like halfway through the production of the film, and so he kind of like,
sad.
Of course he had to dip and handle that because that's like very traumatic,
Mm-hmm.
But then Warner Brothers wanted to add more levity to the script, and I think. What's his name? Whedon was just coming off of Ultron because he directed Age of Ultron. And so they brought him in to make it feel more like the Avengers movies. And tone-wise, yes, but the story didn't. The story suffered in the process.
Yeah, whatever their decisions they made, that was hard.
Yeah, they changed Snyder's script. And they reshot like I think 80% of the film. So we haven't.
If they reshot 80%, then this is going to be
a completely different movie. We basically we barely saw any of what Snyder's vision was for this film.
Yeah.
If they changed 80% of it, like that's crazy.
They got rid of Martian.
They got Martian in this one.
Yeah, Zack Snyder had Martian Manhunter in it.
See, he got Joker in it too.
Yeah, he had Joker. Like,
but I don't see how he's gonna fit in the story though.
well, it's a 4-hour movie.
League, yeah.
Oh, it is 4 hours. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 hours.
You got all the time in the world. You can fit 2 movies in this.
But then they say it's like it's not. This is not even like canon really anymore, right? Is that true?
Yeah, they said it's not canon.
Yeah, it's whatever. As long as it's good.
I mean, who cares? Like, what in DC is canon? Like, they can retcon anything. Like, none of it matters. Like, it's not like the MCU. Like, they can make a decision at any point in time to go, you know what? We're not going to make this canon anymore. Like,
they might just blow everything up. Nah, they'll keep Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman to be canon.
Yeah,
they'll keep Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they just need to get a new writer for Wonder Woman. I think that'll fix the issues with Wonder Woman. That's a really easy fix. Like, I think the story was underserved in that movie, and I think that's my biggest complaint with the movie overall.
They should start crowdsourcing these plots on the internet and just getting polls.
No, but but that they do. Well, Marvel and Star Wars do, because they'll leak stuff.
And
then depending on how the fans react to it, like, they'll keep it or continue with this.
That's cunning.
Yeah, like this. Who's leaking this stuff? Ain't nobody leaking this stuff, and then they can't find out who's leaking this stuff. But yet, every movie we get script leaks, we get plot leaks, we get character details. Like, the whole plot for what's it called? The Rise of Skywalker. That whole movie leaked online, like, a couple months while they were doing reshoots.
Oh.
And then people were like, they read the script and they were like, "Yo, this is terrible." And then they changed. They changed like a good portion of the movie because what leaked was slightly altered. Well, the final product was slightly altered from what was actually leaked, because in the leaks, Kylo is yeeted off the cliff, and we never see him again. Like, he's just dead.
What cliff?
You know, when they're on Exegol, and like, I think Palpatine Force pushes him off the cliff.
Yeah, that was like the last time you saw him
in the original script. And people were like, yo, hell no, that's not gonna fly. Like, they were like, nah, like, if this is how we'll boycott this whole film, if this is how y'all kill Kylo. And then the movie happens and that whole thing had changed. But he still gets yeeted off the cliff, but he climbs back out and fights. Like,
that's crazy.
And I was like, yo.
Is it one of the scenes? I don't know if that was true, but like, one of the scenes they destroy the Millennium Falcon as well.
I heard that. I don't know.
Like, people walked out of a test screening.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like Lando, Chewie, C-3PO, they all died.
No, it wasn't on the Falcon.
It wasn't on the Falcon?
No, it wasn't Millennium Falcon. So the ship that Rey blew up when she and Kylo were like,
doing that little tug of war thing.
All, like, basically everybody was on that ship, and that ship blows up and it kills everybody. And then, like, basically, so Rey has to deal with that. And like, people are like, nope, like, nah, we not gonna let that fly either.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who would think that would even be feasible?
Bro, they was throwing stuff on the wall because they realized they screwed up
had nothing to do.
The whole franchise with The Last Jedi.
They, like, that's wild. Yo, what? So they was really trying to take out 3 main characters.
They didn't have a plan because they didn't have a plan for the sequels. At least, you know, George Lucas retconned a lot of stuff in his original scripts for the original trilogy. But at least he had a loose overall story and a guideline that he was trying to follow. Like, he changed things. Like, Luke and Leia weren't always related. Like, that didn't happen until Return of the Jedi. Like, they weren't supposed to be related. Yeah. So, like, that's why the whole kiss scene looks weird now. But in hindsight, he didn't have them as, you know, brother and sister at that point in time when he was writing the script. He only changed that like a couple. I think while they were filming Return of the Jedi, he decided to make Leia and Luke brother and sister. So, like, it happens, but he had a whole guideline. He knew who the main character was. He knew what Luke Skywalker's overall arc was. He knew how Vader tied into it, and that Vader was his father, who killed Vader.
At first he said Vader was gonna be somebody who killed his dad.
Never mind. Yeah. But Vader was always the villain.
Yeah.
And Luke was always going to redeem Vader in the end, and that was going to be his way to become Jedi, basically. So like that loosely was all there. They had a plot for 3 films, a saga that stretched. For this, they didn't have anything. They just each director had a shot at the script, and they kind of just sort of freestyled.
I remember when you told me that they had 3 directors for 3 films, and that to me just sounded like a train wreck. I'm like, what?
Well,
that's how the original
the original trilogy, because George Lucas directed the first film, Irvin Kershner directed Empire, and then somebody else directed
a whole different
Return of the
time,
Jedi.
though, you know. Like,
Richard something, I forget his last name.
Richard Farquaad, is it?
Or Farquaad?
Yeah, I mean that. Like, I don't know.
I think so.
Back then, like that was just a magical moment with all 3 of those Star Wars films. Like I guess they tried to replicate the process.
That was like no one really ever seen anything like that before too. So
yeah, but I mean, you had George Lucas there overseeing the whole project. So like,
he was there like every day.
Had a vision for what, he was there to guide the directors. Like they could do and direct in their own, style.
So that was the common denominator, Lucas.
Yeah,
George Lucas.
Someone with the vision, like Feige, like George Lucas, someone that's there that has a vision for how this is going to play out, that will give the directors the freedom and flexibility to inject their own style into the project, but not lose sight of the overall story. Like that's very important when you're telling a story over a series of films. Like you don't have that, like you got no conductor in the train, like of course it's going to derail at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Irvin Kershner, there was no romance in Empire. Like there was in the original script. That was Irvin Kershner was the one who wanted to have like some sort of romance between the characters. And so George let him have the scenes with Han and Leia and create a love interest between that. That would not have happened had Irvin Kershner not lobbied for it. So yeah, it's important to have other directors' visions because it just enhances the storytelling, but you got to keep it
intentionally.
As long as you have someone there that can oversee and make sure the vision is still executed.
Yeah, it's critical. Critical mass.
Even in the case of the prequels, I think a lot of the issues come from George Lucas being kind of spread too thin because he was the executive producer, director, writer, like he did everything. And he probably could have used a little bit more insight.
Yeah. And I think he was pretty much surrounded by just a bunch of yes men too.
Absolutely. So like he needed someone there to interject some fresh ideas and maybe change some things and plant some seeds in his head that would alter the story a bit. All right, so we're approaching the final hour, which is our community discussion.
Yeah, man, but I'm thinking let's move it to next week when we have a full
cast and crew.
We got shout out to you, man, holding up the lights right there.
Hey man,
shout out to you, man, with the mic boom.
Oh, we got grips.
We got a grip 1 and 2.
Grip 1 and 2 in the building.
Yeah.
Interns.
But yeah, man, this is tonight is a particular night. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to hear the rest of the Gumbo Squad on this community discussion. It sounds like it'll be an entertaining one.
I agree with that.
And I need a drink in my hand for this. The bubbly.
All right, so we'll have the community discussion next week on episode 31 here on the channel. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. Episode 8 of WandaVision comes out next Friday. We'll be reviewing that as well. Also at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. Tomorrow, Star Wars Sunday, we have our discussion about the Secrets of the Sith Jedi, or Sith book being announced under development. So definitely going to talk about that.
I'm definitely going to buy that one.
Looking forward to talking about. Hadn't had much news outside of the High Republic stuff, and to be honest, the High Republic content has been the same. So it's just that's going to be a slow burn. Like all the books and comics that have been released in the month of February still are dealing with the Great Disaster. So we're introducing new characters, but it's not really a lot of new things to talk about other than the new characters. Same plot, same kind of sort of situation, just being handled in different parts of the galaxy. So not the most inspired subject matter to talk about, but the Sith thing does add some intrigue for me because the Sith are a very important part of the story, in my opinion. If you're going to have the Jedi and the Jedi are going to be maintained, the Sith are the antithesis. So you can't, if one exists, one can't exist without the other, in my opinion, within the story. Mm-hmm. I'm all for the Jedi having other adversaries to face, of course, naturally. But if they are Jedi, the Sith have to be somewhere lingering. So that's what we'll be talking about. And there are a lot of great Sith Lords throughout the history of Star Wars that haven't been fully incorporated into the canon timeline yet, that I hope will be touched on in this upcoming novel. So that will be the subject for tomorrow. You can follow us on social media at Certified Gumbo. We're on Gumbo. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook.
And YouTube, man.
And of course YouTube, but we're on YouTube, so it's like, yeah,
Hey.
But like I always
follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, share.
Right.
Absolutely. And like I always say, peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you.
Peace,
always.
Peace.